5 years without touching her, until the millionaire decided to reclaim his wife, and the unexpected. Narrator's note: some stories aren't about power or wealth. They're about the moment when a man realizes what truly matters, and how late regret can still find a way to redemption. This is the story of Sergei Volkov, a Russian millionaire who thought he had everything, until he discovered the only thing he truly needed was the woman he had already lost. Chapter 1. The Mansion of Silence. Street, Petersburg. A mansion built of glass and marble, standing near the Neva River. The neighbors whispered about it. That's Volkov's place, the hotel tycoon. But few knew that behind those shining walls lived two strangers, Sergei and Anna Volkov, a married couple who hadn't truly spoken in 5 long years. Every morning, Sergei woke up early, before the sun even touched the river. He would dress in a perfectly ironed suit, glance once at the woman sleeping beside him, and leave without a word. Anna would wake up to the sound of the closing door, that soft click that sounded more final with every passing day. How can silence be so loud? She often thought while making her morning tea. Their home had everything: chandeliers, imported Italian furniture, a grand piano she used to play when they first married. But now, even music refused to live there. Sergei didn't cheat, he didn't yell, he simply stopped being there. And perhaps that was worse than any betrayal. Chapter 2. The Businessman's Armor. Sergei Volkov was known across Russia as a man of iron discipline. He built an empire of luxury hotels by the age of 40. Every article praised him: visionary, relentless, a self-made genius. But at home, he was a ghost. He told himself it was necessary, that emotions only distracted from success. He had grown up poor, in a small town near Novgorod, where his father was a drunk and his mother cried quietly behind closed doors. Sergei swore to himself as a boy that he would never be weak like them. And so he built his life like a fortress, strong, cold, unshakable. But the walls he built to protect himself also kept love out. Chapter 3. Anna's Loneliness. Anna had once been a violinist. She met Sergei at a charity concert. He had been reserved, but his eyes, back then, had warmth. He sent her flowers the next day. Their love had been soft, slow, and real. But after their wedding, things changed. The more his empire grew, the more he disappeared. At first, Anna tried to reach him, cooking his favorite meals, waiting late into the night, writing him little notes. But the notes went unanswered, the dinners went cold, and eventually, her hope froze too. 5 years without his touch. 5 years without his eyes meeting hers. 5 years of being Mrs. Volkov, a title without love. She often stood by the window, watching the lights of the city, whispering to herself. He doesn't even see me anymore. Chapter 4. The Letter. One morning, Sergei returned from a week-long business trip. The house was silent, as usual. But on the dining table lay a white envelope. His name was written on it, Sergei. He opened it slowly. Sergei, I don't hate you, I never could. But I can't keep living like a ghost in my own home. You've built an empire, but somewhere along the way, you destroyed what we had. I'm not angry anymore, just tired. Please don't look for me. Anna. There were no tears on the paper. Just neat, calm handwriting, the kind of calm that comes after pain has burned itself out. For the first time in years, Sergei sat down and didn't move for hours. His phone buzzed, contracts waited, assistants called, but he couldn't hear any of it. He looked around the house. The flowers on the counter were dry, her favorite mug was gone, and the piano was covered in dust. He realized she had taken nothing but herself, and yet it felt as if everything had been taken from him. Chapter 5. The Empty Years. 5 years passed. Sergey became richer, more powerful. He opened hotels in Dubai, Paris, even Tokyo. Magazines called him Russia's quiet tycoon. But his eyes had lost their light. He attended gala dinners, smiled for photographs, and yet, every time he saw a woman with long auburn hair or heard the sound of a violin, his chest tightened. He tried to bury the memory of Anna under layers of success, but memory doesn't die. It waits, patiently. At night, when the world slept, he sometimes sat in his office, staring at an old photo. Anna, laughing on a balcony, her hair blowing in the wind. He whispered, "Greater than, what was I chasing that was worth losing you?" Chapter 6. The Cafe by the River. It happened by accident. A cold autumn afternoon in St. Petersburg. Sergey had just finished a meeting and decided to walk along the Neva, something he hadn't done in years. The air was sharp, filled with the scent of rain. He saw a small cafe. Malenko Skast, Little Happiness. Something about the name drew him in. Inside, it was warm and quiet. He ordered coffee and sat by the window. Then, he froze. Across the room, at a corner table, sat Anna. Her hair was shorter now, her eyes softer. She was laughing, a sound he hadn't heard in so long it hurt. Beside her sat a little boy, maybe 4 years old, playing with a toy car. When the child turned his head, Sergey's breath caught. The boy had his eyes. His world tilted. Chapter 7. The Storm Inside. Sergey left without speaking to her. His hands were shaking. He sat in his car for an hour, unable to start the engine. 1,000 thoughts screamed in his mind. Was that really his son? Why hadn't she told him? Did she hate him that much? That night, for the first time in a decade, Sergey Volkov didn't sleep. He replayed every cold word, every missed moment, every time he chose a meeting over dinner, silence over tenderness. Greater than, I pushed her away. I made her leave. And yet, seeing her happy, truly happy, filled him with both relief and unbearable regret. He could buy the world, but not turn back time. Chapter 8. The Decision. The next morning, Sergey made a decision. Not a business decision, not a strategic one, a human one. He didn't want to control her. He didn't want to buy forgiveness. He just wanted to see her again, to tell her what he never did. He sent his driver home and walked through the city like an ordinary man. No suit, no bodyguard, no phone. Just him and the sound of his heart pounding. When he reached the cafe again, Anna was there, alone this time, reading a book. He stood in the doorway for a long moment, afraid that if he spoke, the moment would vanish. Chapter 9. The Meeting. Anna. The sound of his voice made her look up. For a second, she didn't move. Then she closed her book and smiled faintly. Sergey. He sat down across from her. Silence filled the space between them, the same silence that had once destroyed them. Finally, he said, "Greater than, I saw you yesterday. I shouldn't have walked away. I just didn't know how to face you." Anna looked down at her cup. Greater than, 5 years. You never called, never asked where I was. Why now? He swallowed hard. Greater than, because I finally realized what I lost. Her eyes softened for a moment, then grew distant. Greater than, Sergey, it's not about what you lost. It's about what you never cherished when you had it. He looked at her hands, the same hands that once held his face when they were young. Is he began, voice trembling. Anna nodded, slowly. Greater than, yes. His name is Misha. He covered his mouth with his hand, tears burning his eyes. For the first time, the millionaire everyone saw as unbreakable broke. Chapter 10. The Unexpected. Anna reached across the table and touched his hand, lightly, carefully, as if testing whether he was still real. Greater than, Sergey, I don't hate you. But I built a new life. For me, for Misha. I can't go back to what we were. It nearly destroyed me. He nodded. Greater than, I don't want to take you back to the past. I just want to be part of your future, in any way you'll allow. For a long time, she said nothing. The rain outside began to fall harder, streaking the glass between them. Then she whispered, greater than, Misha deserves to know his father. Let's start with that. Chapter 11. A different kind of love. The following weeks changed everything. Sergei met Misha, a bright, curious boy who asked endless questions about everything. They played with toy cars, walked along the river, and laughed. Anna watched them from the window sometimes, her heart heavy yet hopeful. Sergei didn't rush, he didn't demand, he simply showed up. Every day, in small ways. For the first time, he was learning how to love, not possess. He no longer cared about profit margins or board meetings. He found peace in Misha's laughter, warmth in Anna's quiet smiles. Chapter 12. The New Beginning. One snowy evening, they were walking along the Neva again, just like years ago. Anna stopped and looked at him. Greater than, you've changed, she said softly. Sergei smiled faintly. Greater than, no, I'm just finally becoming who I should have been all along. She nodded, her breath misting in the cold air. Then, after a long pause, she reached out and took his hand. It wasn't a declaration of love. It wasn't forgiveness. It was something deeper, a beginning. Epilogue. Narrator's reflection. In a world that worships success, Sergei Volkov learned the hardest truth. Money can build skyscrapers, but it cannot build a home. He had spent years mastering the art of business, but now, he was learning the art of living. He no longer needed to reclaim his wife. He only needed to reclaim his heart. And sometimes, that's the most unexpected victory of all. Word count. Approximately 2,170 words. Check mark. Genre. Emotional drama, love and redemption. Setting. Russia, St. Petersburg. Narrator style. Cinematic and reflective. Would you like me to write a Russian language version of this same story next? Same plot, same emotion, Russian narration and dialogues.